On March 17, 2026, loanDepot Park in Miami pulsed with more than just humidity. It was alive with electricity. The city itself seemed to vibrate with anticipation, as if every palm tree and high-rise was tuned to the same frequency as the fans pouring into the stadium. From early morning, the streets around the ballpark were filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and the rhythmic beat of drums as supporters from all over the world converged for this unforgettable event. The stands were a vibrant tapestry of Venezuelan yellow, blue, and red, transforming South Florida into a piece of Caracas. Flags waved high above the crowd, and the air was thick with the scent of arepas and empanadas, from food, vendors catering to the homesick, and the curious alike. It was more than a baseball game. It was a celebration of culture, identity, and pride. Tens of thousands sang, chanted, and cheered, their passion echoing through every corner of the stadium. The energy was contagious, with entire families, grandparents, parents, and children joining in the chorus. Songs familiar to anyone who grew up in Venezuela rang out, uniting strangers in a shared sense of belonging. The stadium became a living, breathing organism, fueled by hope and nostalgia. Every pitch and swing was met with a roar that shook the ballpark, far from the polite applause of a regular game. Each play on the field was magnified by the collective emotion of the crowd, turning routine outs into moments of drama and every hit into a potential legend. The players themselves seemed to draw strength from the stands, feeding off the relentless energy that surged with every inning. For many in the Venezuelan diaspora, this was a rare chance to unite and celebrate their heritage. Old friends reunited, new friendships were forged, and for a few precious hours, the worries of daily life faded into the background. The ballpark became a sanctuary, a place where memories were made and stories would be told for generations. Even before the first pitch, it was clear. This was Venezuela's home game, despite being on American soil. The anticipation was palpable, with fans on their feet, hearts pounding, and eyes fixed on the field. The sense of unity and pride was overwhelming, as if the entire nation had traveled to Miami for this one night. The stage was set for a championship final that would be remembered for years to come. Under the bright lights, with the world watching, Miami became the beating heart of Venezuelan baseball. A sea of color and sound, hope and history, ready for a night that would live on in memory. Team USA, a powerhouse of MLB stars, stood ready to reclaim the World Baseball Classic title. Their roster was a who's who of baseball's elite, athletes who had already conquered the biggest stages in the sport. The air was thick with anticipation as they took the field, each player carrying the weight of a nation's expectations on their shoulders. For Team USA, this was more than just another game. It was a chance to reinforce their dominance on the world stage and add another chapter to their storied baseball legacy. For them, it was about pride and legacy. Winning was expected. The fans in the stands, draped in red, white, and blue, believed victory was their birthright. Every pitch, every swing, every play was a testament to the tradition and excellence that defined American baseball. The trophy gleamed in the stadium lights, a symbol of the glory they sought to reclaim. Across the diamond, Team Venezuela played for something deeper: hope, resilience, and the soul of a nation facing hardship. Their journey to this moment had been marked by adversity, both on and off the field. For these players, baseball was more than a sport. It was a lifeline, a way to bring joy and unity to a country longing for reasons to celebrate. Their journey was fueled by grit and the dreams of millions watching from afar. In towns and cities across Venezuela, families gathered around televisions and outdoor screens, their hopes pinned on every pitch. The players knew they carried not just their own ambitions, but the aspirations of an entire nation yearning for a moment of triumph. The contrast was stark: giant versus underdog, privilege versus purpose. On one side, a team accustomed to the spotlight and the pressure that comes with it. On the other, a group fighting for respect, recognition, and something far greater than themselves. The stadium became a stage for two different stories, each equally compelling. As the players took their positions, the weight of their motivations was palpable. Every glance, every gesture, every heartbeat echoed with the significance of what was at stake. The world watched as these athletes prepared to give everything for their countries, their families, and their dreams. For the Americans, it was about cementing dominance. For the Venezuelans, it was about inspiring a nation. Each run scored, each defensive play became a symbol of power for one side, of hope for the other. The energy in the stadium was electric, charged with the emotions of two nations. The collision of these worlds promised a classic confrontation defined by heart and meaning. On this diamond, every moment mattered, and as the game unfolded, it became clear that this was more than just a contest for a trophy. It was a battle for pride, for hope, and for the enduring spirit of baseball itself. The game unfolded as a tense, scoreless duel, pitchers on both sides dominating, hitters frustrated. Each inning passed in a deadlock, every pitch carrying the weight of a potential breakthrough. The crowd's energy turned to anxious anticipation, every at-bat a possible turning point. Managers strategized, knowing one mistake could decide everything. The suspense built with every out, as the world waited to see who would blink first. In the bottom of the eighth, with 2 outs, Bryce Harper shattered the silence. He crushed a pitch deep into the Miami night, a 2-run homer that stunned the Venezuelan crowd. The American dugout erupted, sensing victory at hand. Harper's brilliance seemed to seal the game, the momentum swinging hard to Team USA. But baseball thrives on unpredictability. The Venezuelan fans, momentarily silenced, reignited with defiance. Harper's blast set the stage for a dramatic final act. The storm was far from over. Down 2 runs in the ninth, Venezuela refused to fold. The dugout brimmed with quiet resolve. The fans roared louder, refusing to accept defeat. A leadoff walk, a single. Suddenly, the tying runs were on base. The American pitcher faltered under the deafening pressure. Momentum shifted as hope surged through Venezuelan veins. Across the world, Venezuelans watched, united in suspense. The players felt the weight and the power of a nation's hope. They weren't just playing for a win, they were chasing a miracle. The heartbeat of a nation echoed with every pitch. Eugenio Suárez stepped up to the plate, the weight of the game and the hopes of his entire country resting squarely on his shoulders. The stadium was electric, every eye fixed on him, every heartbeat in sync with his. The tension was palpable as fans held their breath, knowing that this moment could define a generation of Venezuelan baseball. Suárez dug in, battling through a tense count, fouling off pitch after pitch, refusing to give in. Then, with a sharp crack of the bat, he lined a shot into right center field, sending the ball screaming past the infielders. The crowd erupted as the tying run rounded third, hope surging through the stands. Javier Sanoya, who had stolen second base just moments before, took off like a flash. He rounded third, sprinting with everything he had, and dove headfirst toward home plate. The throw came in, the catcher reached a tag, but Sanoya slid in just ahead of the tag. Safe. Venezuela surged ahead, 3-2, and the dugout exploded in celebration. The stadium erupted into chaos and pure joy. Disbelief melted away, replaced by euphoria. Fans leapt from their seats, waving flags and hugging strangers, united in a moment of national pride. The roar was deafening, echoing far beyond the ballpark. With the lead secured, Venezuela's closer strode to the mound, his face a mask of determination. He was about to face the heart of Team USA's formidable lineup, the pressure mounting with every pitch. The world watched, knowing the outcome hung in the balance. With ice in his veins, the closer delivered pitch after pitch with pinpoint precision. The batter swung and missed, overpowered by his fastball and fooled by his breaking ball. One by one he struck out the side, slamming the door on Team USA's hopes. The final out was recorded and instantly the field became a scene of wild celebration. Players rushed together, piling on top of each other in a joyous dogpile, while fans in the stands wept tears of happiness and cheered with unbridled passion. Venezuela had done the unthinkable. They had toppled the giant, defeating the heavily favored Team USA in a dramatic upset that would be remembered for generations. As the team lifted the championship trophy high above their heads, tears streamed down their faces. They were champions of the world, their names forever etched in baseball history. Across Venezuela, celebrations erupted into the night. Fireworks lit up the sky over Caracas, and a nation rejoiced. This was more than a victory. It was a comeback for the ages, a story of heart, resilience, and national pride that would inspire generations to come. For Team USA, the night was one of frustration and missed chances. Their star-studded lineup fell silent, managing just a 156 average in the final games. Even Captain Aaron Judge went hitless, striking out 3 times. The pressure and the pro-Venezuelan crowd rattled the Americans. 24 strikeouts in 2 games told the story. Only Harper's home run shone in a sea of disappointment. Talent alone wasn't enough. Heart and execution made the difference. On this night, Venezuela had both in abundance. For Venezuela, this win was more than a trophy. It was hope in dark times. Years of turmoil and diaspora faded as the nation united behind its team. The victory brought catharsis, pride, and a rare moment of collective joy. Miami's stadium became a sanctuary, its energy fueling the team's success. The players, many with families affected by hardship, played for something deeply personal. Their triumph was a gift to their people, a reason to celebrate, to believe. The world saw the passion of Venezuelan fans and the power of sport to unite. The final celebration was more than a win, it was a healing moment for a nation. The 2021 might next among the Mansen Biban Doings. Siguainam World Baseball Classic Final marked a turning point for international baseball. It had everything: drama, passion, and a stunning underdog victory. The tournament now rivals the World Cup in global prestige. Parity has arrived. No longer is Team USA the automatic favorite. Venezuela's win inspired smaller nations to dream big. The Classic's emotional stakes and diverse matchups have elevated the sport worldwide. For baseball, it signaled a vibrant, competitive future. For fans, it was a reminder that sports can unite, inspire, and create unforgettable history.